Hello everyone and welcome back to ILR4. My name's Cliffy and I'll be taking you through the Silverstone Grand Prix tonight. Home Grand Prix to most of the guys on the grid. And I have started a little bit later just because, I feel like 18 minutes of qualifying does sometimes drag. So I'd rather just start, maybe like just under 10 minutes in so we can have a bit of a gauge and use up some of the time when all the guys are in the pit. So at the moment we have the two Hasses actually. Jacob just nudging Dartbolt with a 26.250. I want to see what tyre they're all on as well. So they all have done their laps on the softs. Now a bit of a shout out to TMC Wesker, who I believe is the new reserve. I believe he got added a couple of days ago, so welcome Wesker. I know Wesker from another league and he's a good driver when he wants to be, so hopefully he can have a decent debut tonight, as I say, with all the new reserves that do their first race here. So the only person, and I'm gonna butcher this name so bad. I'm not good with names, but Ocean. Again, sorry if I butcher your name, but I know Ocean from another league as well. And again, I've had some good races with him, so hopefully, again, he has a good debut tonight. So best of luck to Wesker and Ocean. And at the moment, Ocean looks like the quicker driver out of the two, to be honest. So yeah, as I was saying, two Hasses in P1 and P2. I think it's well needed for them just because of their terrible form recently. Obviously the Ferrari boys of Konzo and Dougie, and I believe Konzo isn't here tonight, so it is literally just Dougie here, one man in it for the Ferrari team. And I'm pretty sure Konzo is all but confident in Dougie's abilities, given his lead in the championship at the moment over Dartbolt, who is a big bottle. So hopefully he can change that. Hopefully he can challenge, because I did say the first 3 rounds this man was incredibly unlucky, and I think now it's just literally he just runs into people running 100% brake pressure and thinks that everyone runs it when they don't. So again, he's just got to be calm, cool and collected on track in the race, because again he's got the pace to win races and be fighting Dougie for that championship. So now's the chance for him to do that. And also, I did mention in the group chat, but I'm not going to be doing podium interviews tonight. After this race finishes, I do have to head off straight away and get an early night, because I've got an early start tomorrow, unfortunately. But these things happen. So yeah, so from next week onwards I'll be doing podium interviews again, but this week I will not. So while these guys are all going into the pits, let's have a quick rundown of the full 20 drivers on the grid. So P1 we have J. Cole, P2 we have Dartbolt, P3 we have Chazza, who looks like he's sort of woken up a bit from his slumber the last couple of races. We have Nick in 4th, Dougie in 5th. Now I don't know whether Dougie has put any practice in with his teammate not being here. I guess it'll be on his final run whether we'll see that or not. In 7th we have Joss, in 8th we have Kryptonite, 9th we have Chill, who even said himself not to expect anything heroic tonight, so hopefully Chill can get a few points. In 10th we have Nigel, in 11th we have Rink, in 12th we have Casper, 13th we have Wesker, in 14th we have Ocean, in 15th we have Campbell, who last week just surprised everyone, I think, with his pace at Austria. So hopefully he's looking to recreate that tonight, but looking at these times I don't think he's got the pace tonight. In 16th we have Vitonho, in 17th we have Scott, in 18th we have DeLuca, in 19th we have Oevo, and in last place with us in the time is Warlock. So while these guys are all going back into the pits, I'm going to quickly get the chat up and see who's in there, and hopefully we have a few regular faces in there. So hopefully I'm going to get the chat up now. Excuse me. There we go. So we have Alfie, Archie, who's rooting for Joss, so it's good to see people rooting for each other. Say Ushin, that's how you pronounce it. Okay, thank you, Alfie. Hello, Ushin. Hello, Chill. Hello, J. Cole. And yeah, so I've been told, so yeah, Ushin is how I'm going to be saying it from now on. And those of you who knows Wesker from another league, you'll know what I'm going to say. Wesker's the favourite tonight. He's the favourite. You can't not say this man hasn't got the pace to be in ILR1. It's an absolute travesty that he's not in ILR1. He's just been pushed to ILR4. So Ben is rooting for Prix. So again, it's really good to see other people rooting for friends or just people they think are just really good on track. And at the moment, Prix in 5th place. So a bit of a nosebleed for him at the moment. Because I know recently he hasn't really been in or around the top 10. And yeah, just watching Wesker now on his outlap, I believe. So where's Ushin? Ushin is just come out of the pits, I believe. So let's go on board with Wesker actually. Be a bit of a change of tone going on board with a reserve. And Antonio decided to call it a day. So let's see what Wesker can do on his flying lap. Of course, this will be his last lap, so if he gets invalid, he'll be starting 14th, if not lower, if the guys behind improve. So he's going to come across the line now to start his last flying lap. Is he going to get invalid into turn 1? I mean, yes. He didn't even go near the apex, and then he just went wide and just, yeah, I mean, I suppose that's what can happen at Silverstone. You don't dip the apex into turn 1, it just chucks your car well wide. And yeah, I feel like the exit at turn 1 can be a bit of a BS place to get a penalty, but Wesker did have all of his car over the line there. As Campbell, I said this man didn't have pace, and he's just gone and whacked it on pole. So with under a minute left, he's definitely made a claim here to the likes of Dartbolt, Dougie, and the rest of the guys fighting for the championship. You know, he's had a rough start to the season, but I think after that podium in Austria, he's just a new man, and it's proven here tonight with that lap time. So I think he's going again. So I sort of keep an eye on him, see if he does improve. But I'm going to go back to Dougie now. This is important for Dougie to improve now, because he's down in 7th and Dartbolt is in 3rd with his teammate in Campbell ahead of him. So let's see what Dougie does as he finishes sector 1. I believe this is a lap. So everyone is opting for the soft tyres as well. So we're looking quite clean from Dougie so far, as he comes into the old start-finish straight and the old turn 1. Of course, flat these days, or just about flat. Oh, that's a bit wide for Dougie. That might be invalid, but he's still going for it, so I'm guessing it is not invalid. Let's go on, try to get a camera shot, and that is not a good camera angle, so we're just down board with Dougie, and that looks very clean through sector 2, one of the most enjoyable sectors in these cars in my opinion. And Chez has called it a day, so he must have got invalid on his lap, so he's starting 5th, maybe lower. If Dougie improves his lap, then he'll no doubt go down in place. But at the moment, this is looking like a nice clean lap from Dougie as he comes into the last couple of corners. Not really clean there. Could have been tighter on the apex and entry, but he goes to the line and he goes 5th. He matches Dartbolt's time, but Dartbolt is on a lap, so let's stay with him then. Mr. Bottle is what I've come to call him. Mr. I get wing damage from the back of cars. Let's see what he can do. He's still got a full front wing, I'm surprised. He's going to come to the line, and he goes pole with a 26 flat, just ahead of Campbell. So, you know, as I said, Campbell's a man revived at the moment. Absolutely terrific qualifying from him. Josh is still in the lap, so I know someone in the chat is supporting Josh. If I'm saying his name wrong again, put it in the chat and I will say it right. But I believe he's backed off. Yes, he has. And Dougie stays 5th at the moment. Casper, I believe, has just gone up to 8th. And let's see where Scott is. Scott's backed out. Rink, he went up to 9th. Wesker went up to 8th. So Wesker did have enough time for another lap. Fair play, Wesker. Okay. 8th place is not bad. 4/10 of pole. Good start to his debut. So we're just waiting for, I believe, Scott to retire. And there he is. He does indeed do that. It's Jos. Sweet. Thank you. Thank you. So see, I'm glad everyone's helping me. I mean, it's only like 6 rounds into the season, and I'm only figuring out how to say people's names. But you know, it's fun. So I believe Dartbolt is on pole this time. So if he can get a good start, then it should be happy days. But we all know what Dartbolt's like. Campbell with a fantastic second place, J. Cole in third, so it's a Haas 1-3, so this is what they need. Yoss is in fourth, Dougie in fifth, Chaz is sixth, Nick 7th, Wesker in 8th, Casper 9th, Rink in 10th, and outside the top 10 got Kryptonite, Prix, Chill, Scott, Nigel, Warlock, Ushin, DeLuca, Vitinho, and Oevo, bringing up the full 20 drivers on the grid. And it's good to see full grid. Also, I know each tier in ILR gets more or less 20 drivers, but it's just good to see that, you know, this game being, you know, pretty old now and everyone's still willing to. It's good to see. It means that people are committed. And there's a Renault in the pits. He's just ghosted and disappeared. So yeah. So while these guys sort out their strategy, sort out maybe a few minor wing changes and the fuel and all that for the race, I'm gonna go for a drink and I'll be back for the formation lap. So as Dartbolt finishes the formation lap, looks like he's in a world of his own because Campbell is quite far behind. So I don't know whether that's going to pay dividends to Campbell or not. And the only people outside the top 10 to start on the mediums is Kryptonite, Nigel, Ushin, Vitinho and Oevo. So, you know, no one opting for the blue hard, which is not surprising because them tyres are absolutely terrible, or terrible. And I'm going to quickly go back to the right chat because I'm not actually on it at the moment, and that's quite shocking. So yeah, take your time guys, it's not a problem. There we go. We've got Big C in the chat, rooting for Ushin. Wow. I think my money's on Campbell. He's a new man after last week, so we are now going to wait for 5 red lights. Are they on? No, they're not. Yes, they are now. So after that long wait, I think there's a McLaren there facing sideways, but we're going to have 5 red lights and lights out. And I think Dartbolt might just see off Campbell into turn 1. Dartbolt will keep leading into turn 1. Campbell will keep P2. J-Con P3. J-Con's round though. Oh my god, there's a big crash. Big crash. Massive crash. I think Dougie's been involved in that as well. I'm going to quickly go and see. He has got wing damage, so this is Dartbolt's chance now. He's still got the lead. These guys can pit though, and I mean everyone got collected there. I think J-Car must have been running 11 ballast because these rear just went to Narnia and back. But yeah, this is going to really mix up the race now, because I think all these guys are going to be pitting for the old hard tyres, the blue tyres, the cold ones that never heat up. So yeah, let's go back up to the front then, and Jos, Campbell and Dart are all within a second of each other. Rink, he's up into 4th. Nick is in 5th. I don't think Nick's still got a full front. Let's see who's got a full front wing. So lap 1, Dart Bolt has got a full front wing, so he's not a bottle so far. Campbell has a full front wing. Jos has a full front wing. So does, well, I'm guessing Rink does. Looks like he has. Nick has. Caspar has. Kryptonite has. And he's on mediums as well, so he could be one to watch towards the end of the race. Prix has. Dougie, no, so he might pit this lap. No, he's not. He's carrying on. All about Scott. He has a wing, but he's battling with Dougie, Oevo. I think he might have slight end plate damage, I believe. Ushin has a wing and no medium, so again, one to watch definitely towards the end of the people people on the softs. Watch out for Ushin towards the end of their stint. DeLuke has a full front wing. So just yeah, not many people got damage from that then, if I'm honest. Scott and Dougie going side by side. So just goes to show, Dougie has a half a wing, Scott has a full front wing, and Dougie's able to defend from Scott, but I don't think it's going to last too long now, because we've got Scott going down the inside. Dougie will be pushed wide a little bit. No, to be fair, they both do really well there, but Scott goes for a bit of an up and under move, and that is Scott up into P9, is it? No, the rear steps out on him, so we're going to go back to Oevo as he looks to pounce on a mistake here. And Dougie will go wide. Oh, that might be wing damage for Oevo. I'm not too sure. I did hit him quite hard, but I don't think he got any damage. And he lets Dougie by. And Ushin is the man who's on an absolute mission now to try and get past these two. Not Evo again making contact with Dougie. I don't think he knows he's got half a wing, so I think he's just thinking that he's just being really slow. But Dougie would have to pit, surely end this out. But look at Ushin, he's going to make it 3 wide, is he? Yes, he does. Dougie doesn't know where to go. Evo went around the outside. Ushin from out of nowhere. Oh, DeLuca and Dougie. That was just miscommunication there. And now DeLuca and Dougie are both inside each other in the pits. This is what you want to see. And now Evo has to defend from Warlock, Ushin and Chazar, who I believe didn't get no wing damage either, which is quite shocking because I saw his car sideways, that's for sure. And yep, Chaz is trying to go down inside of Ushin there, again on the soft, so he should be able to get this move done around the outside. Just get the traction on exit. You might see just the sheer traction. He does get it done around the outside on Ushin, who might just have to bide his time here. I know Evo's on the mediums, but he's been attacked by Warlock, who's also on the soft, so it just goes to show the performance of this softer tyre. But at least they're barging each other. It's not going to end well between you two if they carry on doing this, because Chazar is going to pounce on them. But I am going to go back to Ushin to see just what this man can see, because if I was him I'd be licking my lips, because the racing I've been seeing so far hasn't exactly been clean between Warlock and Evo. And again, Chazar I think taking a watching brief, doesn't get too involved here. And I think Ushin actually, to be fair, took it the best through sector 2 out of all of them in front, but I just couldn't get the exit down. But look at Chazar, he's going to go on an attack on Warlock, and Warlock can't really get near Evo in a straight line, even with DRS and slipstream, so maybe Evo running slightly lower wings, so keeping him in front. Oh, but Chazar went for a bit of a dive bomb there. Excuse me. Ushin, oh, there's slight contact, and I think that's that battle done with for now. So let's quickly go back up to Caspar, because him, Nick and Rink are quite close together on track. Excuse me. As oh, Campbell's lagged out. Oh, that is a shame. That is an absolute shame. Campbell looking good in this race, solid P2, and now Jos is now inherited P2, and now surely Campbell's teammate Rink will inherit P4. My throat's gone to absolute mess right now, so I'll just have a quick drink. Excuse me. So Campbell's rejoined, so be interesting to see how quick he gets into his car. I believe he's loading in now, so we'll stay on board with him to see just when he's able to get back in. And Bree's gone past, Kryptonite's gone past, and Kryptonite, he's on their medium tyres. He's making good inroads on the guys ahead actually, so watch out for him towards the end of the race. And Campbell, I believe, is back in a safe spot as well, so fair play to him. But now he's got all of it to do now. He knows he's got the pace on the guys ahead, and at the moment just needs to warm himself up again. But back up the front we've got Casper, Nick and Rink battling for what is third place. Warlock and Evo. Oh, Warlock's round. Ushin. Ushin's now taking 10th place and Evo down to 11th, so maybe these two are contact going into the final couple of corners. And now Evo and Warlock have now let Ushin on the harder tyre go past them, so I did say it's going to end in tears for both of them, and it did. And now Ushin now up into 10th place and can maybe start to make inroads on the guys ahead on the soft. So Scott, Campbell and Bree might find themselves in a difficult position in the next few laps, because them softs will start to wear out at around lap 6, maybe lap 7. So yeah, you can take these mediums quite a long way into this race. So I think Ushin will have to put the foot to the floor now if he's got any chance of getting a good result here, because Kryptonite, he's sort of in a world of his own at the minute on the mediums in 6th place, and he's catching the guys ahead. So this is potentially a fight for what is 2nd place. So let's go on board with Rink, because he'll have DRS, and as will Nick, but Nick's going to surely benefit from slipstream more than Rink, and he does. We can see the closing speed. He's always ducked it inside. Oh, that was a bit naughty there from Rink. Looked like he moved twice there. Now you're allowed to move once, but moving twice is not allowed. And now Rink goes for a bit of a dive bomb. Nick fends it off. Caspar, can he get involved anyhow? No, he can't. And again, all this battling is just allowing Kryptonite. Oh, I think Rink got a bit out of shape there. Or Nick did, or one of them did. I don't know who did. I think Nick might have got a legal overtake. And now Kryptonite, because that little sort of hold up, he's got a good run on Caspar. Slight look up. Saves it. Slight wall banging, nothing too much. And Kryptonite up into 6th place from that, and now on the fight for Casper, but that Mercedes does look a bit tail happy, so he's going to want to get the move done now, and he has to go round and outside the long way round. Caspar just get, oh maybe not, excuse me. And now Bree just sort of sliding past everyone, so everyone making mistakes and Bree's just sliding past everyone, saying thank you very much. And now we can focus on Caspar, who's sort of been the cork in this bottle here, as Wesker has indeed left the session, as has Vitinho and Chill, I believe, got collected in that lap 1 incident. And Nigel's out as well. Where has Nigel binned it? Let's stay with Wesker. I mean, I might be on board with Wesker for a long time, but let's quickly see where I think he must have binned it in sector 3. So I think Nigel just knew he weren't able to catch back up, and up ahead Kryptonite has just made the move on Campbell, and Campbell for whatever reason is lagging an absolute good one right now. So I don't know whether it's because he's joined back, it might be a bit desynced with other people, but everyone will have to be careful around him, because dealing with desync in the league race is not the one, speaking from experience. And Jos and Nick are about to go into battle again, so hopefully they can keep it clean. These two had a fantastic battle at Bahrain, so these two are used to racing each other side by side. I mean, they battled for more than half the race in Bahrain, and it was really good to watch. I think that was the best race so far this season. I think Austria was maybe a close second. So yeah, it's good division to commentate on, as Nick starts to hound in the back of that Renault, and Rink taking a watching brief again. I think, you know, this is the highest he's been in a few races, so I'm thinking he's just taking every opportunity as it comes, quite literally. So yeah, again, you just have to be careful. And again, time penalties around here as well. I don't really say much in qualifying. Time penalties can really decide the race around here. Of course, it's so easy to cut through sector 2, even in sector 3 as well. You go wide and then in for corners, and Nick and Jos going side by side. Nick making it quite easy on Jos, but Jos will get the thought he would have got the overspeed there, but didn't, and decided to pit really early. So is he going to go on hards or mediums? So if he goes on mediums, it's going to be an absolute stretch trying to get them 18 laps to the end of this race. So I think it all depends on how long Kryptonite can go on his mediums, realistically. As again, that Mercedes does not look like it doesn't look enjoyable to drive. It looks understeered. The back end looks like it kicks out too much, but somehow Kryptonite is making it work. And Campbell now is caught back up to the train of cars that overtook him when he lagged out. So it just goes to show how fast Campbell is compared to the guys ahead. I haven't really said much about Dartbowl. He's got a 6.5 second lead. So if he doesn't bottle it, then you know he's looking at an easy win. As yellow's in sector 3. DeLuca's in the wall. I don't know if he's battling with Jaco or not, but DeLuca, that's a big crush for him. I can definitely see him retiring because yeah, he just can't get that Toro Rosso in a straight line. Yeah, there you go. So DeLuca has retired from this race. Safety car. It would bring the likes of Dougie and Chazza back into it. Excuse me. And Jos has actually joined back on track from his pit stop on the medium tyres, and he's actually in a bit of fresh air. So it was good decision there from Jos to pit when he did. And he's actually got a 7-second overcut on Dougie because of that wing damage. But up ahead, Casper and Kryptonite. Oh, Casper's well off the track there. And Casper's going to go for a dive bomb. So again, it's getting pretty ugly between these two. These guys are letting their emotions do the better of them now. And you can just see how aggressive they're both being to each other. As a Dartbolt, Rink, Campbell and Scott all pit. Now these two are going to double stack as well, which is quite alarming. DeLuca's left. And yeah, I don't really know what's going on there. But anyway, back to the Kryptonite and Casper battle. And I believe they both had enough again. They both got grass in their tyres, and Casper making a better of that judgment and has got that second gap. And Ushin, I did say I had to put the foot to the floor, and he has, because he's now 6 seconds behind the guys ahead. So again, you know, Kryptonite and Ushin could be on for a really good result here, because come later on in the race they're going to be on the softer tyre. So they're going to be the quicker guys on the track. And Jos and Campbell, I believe. I think Campbell's just come out of the pits after being held, so he's lagged out, been held in the pits by his teammate, so he's got it all to do here tonight. I feel like it's becoming a bit of a Dartbolt Mark II, but Dartbolt has rejoined in clean air. He's not directly behind any cars, so he can't bottle it, surely. All he's got to do is keep it together. Jos is retired, Jos is out! Where has he been at? Oh my god. Scott's off as well. Dougie's off. Oh no, I thought Dougie went off then. Wow, wow, wow. We're seeing some strange crashes here tonight. As Jaco opted for the hard, so comfortably go to the end and be somewhat a slow but consistent pace. As Casper finally pits, and Dougie and Chaz are quite close on track, so stay with that battle for the minute. And Kryptonite has got past Nick because he's pit. And again, Kryptonite is on for a really good result here. If he can sort of keep this pace going, then again, him and Ushin are definitely going to be on the lookout towards the back end of this race. So Dartbolt rejoined well ahead of Nick. So he's now got Oevo 4.5 seconds up the road, and the rate of knots that Dartbolt's going at, I believe, will catch him in a couple laps time. As Nick has just overcut. Oh my god. Wow. What a move from Rink around the outside. I mean, Nick's on cold tyres as well, so, you know, he really had to have confidence in Nick's abilities to stop the car in time. And Rink was like, you know what, mate? Swoop it straight around the outside. I thought he was going to go off track. He took that much momentum compared to Nick, but, yeah, really good move from Rink there. Moving the race so far, definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. So my main thing will be Dartbolt when he catches up to cars in front of him, to see whether he does take my advice and brake that little bit earlier, just to be a little bit more cautious, because he's got a really good chance here at closing that gap at the top. It's well needed for him. You know, he's just too aggressive on the brakes, and he's just caught him out too many times. And Prix pit on lap 9, so we're taking the mediums, I believe 17 laps including lap 10. So yeah, it should be easily done. And Kryptonite inherits the lead, And who's net P1 at the minute? I believe Dartbolt is. Let's see how far behind Dartbolt is to the leader. And Bree's been held for quite a while there. I don't know whether that might have been the game being terrible or not. So let's see how far behind is Dartbolt. 17 seconds. So again, Dartbolt really needs to put the foot to the floor as well. I think he's just done the fastest lap as well. So it's all good. And Nick looked like he got a bit of a wobble on there through turn 1. Nothing too major though. Still got the car in one piece. Yeah, he just completely lost the car, I believe, from what I remember. Yeah, just lost it through here actually. I think at the end of sector 1, I believe he just spun the rear, as we've seen Nick almost do as well. And I believe he took Scott with him as well. So, you know, I don't know what happened, but that's what I'm thinking's happened. And Dougie and Warlock's sort of coming out of nowhere here. And Dougie, all this battling is letting Chazza get away. Let me sort this out again. So Dartbolt is now 3.6 behind Oevo. So he's catching him. So I think it's like a second a lap. Nick is behind Rinks. Let's see if Nick has got the old pace. He's got loads of VRS, roughly about the same amount, and Rink defends it quite nicely. So yeah, so keep an eye on that battle between them two. I'm going to quickly go back down to Casper because he's now behind Prix, who's just come out of the pit. So Casper making full advantage of them cold mediums, but by now they should be up to temperature for Prix. They should be able to put Cam on a bit of pressure, maybe. But at the moment, Casper the one doing all the pressuring on Prix. And Kryptonite still out in the lead. I see the gap is now between him and Dartbolt. It is now 15.8, so it's about gone down by about 1.2 seconds in 2 laps or 1 lap. So Dartbolt's doing enough, but again, the softs at the end are just going to be so much quicker. You know, it's going to be really close between them two. As Casper now, he's got to run. Is he going to go for a bit of a dive bomb? No, he doesn't. He thinks better of it, and he'll stay behind Prix until the 3rd sector, or maybe not, because Prix messes up. And again, everyone's car just looks very understeering, very tail happy. I don't know what setups everyone's running, but everyone's making it work, so fair play to everyone. But you see that Casper there, the car just looks so, I know dirty air contributes to it, but it just looks so understeering, and the back end just looks very happy. So Nick and Rink going side by side, and Nick has made that move down the inside, easy as you like, but Rink is coming back at him, round the outside, is he? Yes he is, brakes later, around the outside. Oh, he's tapped Nick, and Nick, to be fair, that's good car control from Nick there to hold that. And yeah, the space just wasn't there for Rink, and tapped Nick, and that could have ended a lot worse, not just for Nick, but for Rink as well. 2 nub wings, 8 ballast, master race. Fair enough. I might have to use that for my race. So old school saying, go on, J. Cole. I mean, the man's down in 13th place. You see, old school, you seem to enjoy when J. Cole does really bad. I don't know, he might be a bit of a bad karma for J. Cole, if I'm honest. But it's still time, there's still, well, half the race left, so we're only 13 laps in. And the only guys who haven't pitted yet are Kryptonite, Ushin and Evo, as Dartbolt now 2.1 seconds to Evo. So again, Dartbolt will be thinking about previous weeks and how his aggressive late braking has cost him a lot of points, and in my opinion the championship at this point. But with Dougie down in 11th and Dartbolt being the net leader of this race, he's got a really good chance here at making it count and clawing back some points, which is well needed in the championship, because I believe last week Dougie finished in 4th or 5th. Can't really remember, if I'm honest. Cops flat all the time, even in quali. Wow, fair enough, that must be good then. So Chaz and Dougie are still battling, so let's quickly go back down to them, and I believe, oh, there's slight contact between them both. It is tight. I mean, we've seen a lot of moves here in Sector 3, and Warlock has just come out of nowhere and said, you know what, you two are really annoying me now, I'm losing so much time in there. Is he going to go for moving to start one? He is. Oh, that's going to be tight. Oh, they're going to be 3 wide. Dougie, I think he's trying to make the best out of a bad situation. He's going to try to go around the outside of Warlock. This is good racing between these 3 so far. I don't want to jinx it. And Chaz has defended that quite superbly, to be fair to him, but he's going to be under pressure from Warlock and Dougie, so I think Chaz might just be a sitting duck here. Oh, Dougie's going to... Oh, he almost did. Chaz right around the outside though. Warlock's not really left him much space. This is definitely hard but fair racing. I think Dougie in the end decided to back out of that and let Chaz go. But look at this, just the speed that Dougie's got compared to Chaz is quite immense. He's going to try and go around the outside. There's not enough space there for barely 1 car, let alone 2. And yeah, Dougie thinking wise, letting Chaz go. Doesn't want to ruin his race. And Chaz has already been ruined by that lap 1 incident where he had a huge pile up. Half the grid, I believe, had to pit. And 4 cars, I believe, from it, apart from Yoss, retired. So Dougie's got the overspeed on Chaz. Chaz defends inside, Dougie right around the outside. Chaz will hug the apex, keep the place, and Dougie just can't get the overspeed. So if this battling continues, then Warlock will go bye-bye and come out DRS. And if that happens, then you know Chaz and Dougie won't have much chance of getting points tonight. So yeah, you just got to keep it calm. They're you know, they can still get a couple of points this race. And this man up in front is now approaching a car. And you all know what happens when Dartbolt approaches a car, ladies and gentlemen. He mounts them. That is exactly what happens. But Nick and Rink are still battling. It seems like every time Nick does a race, he always has a battle with someone all race long. Ever since Bahrain, he just can't seem to be on the same bit of track by himself. But you know, Nick gets a lot of TV time for it, so maybe he must like it. Good old mountain, yep. Yes, Matt. So that Red Bull's in Baku. Oh yes, oh yes. I mean, you should have seen Austria with Dartbolt. Jeez. Oh, Evo's pitted. Sick. So just when I thought Dartbolt was approaching the back of a car, I'm going to potentially bottle it. He doesn't, and he looks like he's going to be on for an easy win. The only man stopping him is Kryptonite, but at this rate, the gap's 15 seconds still. So if Kryptonite, I think Kryptonite can pit this lap and still go to the end, if I'm not mistaken. Dartbolt hasn't bottled because he hasn't been near a car. He got pole. There was a lap 1 incident where half the grid, apart from I'd say the top 6, all got caught up in J. Cole spinning. And yeah, since then, you know, Dartbolt's just gone bye-bye, if I'm honest. So at the moment, Dartbolt looking quite comfortable. But I'm going to go back down to Nick and Rink because they're having a fantastic battle, and so is J. Cole, Dougie and Chaz. Now J. Cole sort of come out of nowhere on them hards. Excuse me. And I feel like Nick is quicker than Rink, but every time Nick gets past him, he just re-overtakes because of that DRS. Let's see, as our Kryptonite finally pits. So let's see how far behind he cut. I think he might even come out in 3rd place, to be fair. As Nick goes down inside the Rink. Easy move. Rink didn't really do much to defend now. I think he knew that the time was up. And Kryptonite's coming agonisingly slowed down the pit lane. Nick has just come across the start finish line. This is going to be very close between these two. Or not. There he is. He's just come out of the pits. Campbell might get him as well. No, he won't. Oh, I tried to brake late there, but I believe Campbell was running OBS, so just couldn't brake as late as I think he wanted to. And now I think all eyes are on Kryptonite and Ushin, to be honest. But I think at the moment Campbell's looking to pounce, and Kryptonite doesn't want any of it. He wants to stay ahead of Campbell. And Kryptonite done the right thing there, used all the track, and Campbell stays behind. So them softs should be up to temperature by now, being the softest tyre here. So I think Kryptonite can maybe now start attacking Rink in the next couple laps, and Nick as well, and then can maybe catch and overtake Dartbolt. Who knows? Still time for Dartbolt to ball, and Ushin up into 8th, so he's going to be one to watch as well, as we watch him on the back of Prix. And again, sort of quiet race from Prix, and you just see the softs just have so much more grip and traction. It's such a quick tyre, and Jacob as well, making them hard to work, because he's got past Dougie, and I believe him and Chazza will have to pit again. I think Jacob will be able to go to the end, so Jacob should be on for some good points here, as Ushin is now only 2 tenths behind Prix, so this could be an easy move for Ushin. So he comes to turn 1, he's catching, even on 1 ERS he is catching, so this should be an easy move now when he gets DRS. I'll into sector 1. I see the traction compared to Prix, and yeah, it's slightly better, not the best, but good exit from Prix nonetheless. And Ushin now surely, no, can't. I think he might be saving it for the hanger straight, which, you know, isn't a bad idea, but I mean, being on new softs, I think you could have got out of the DRS window, because you are on such a more grippy and quicker tyre. And Jacob, Warlock and Chaz are putting an absolute show today, as Jacob making them hard to work. So I mean, he is the only guy on the hards. He goes wide for his worries and picks up a 3-second time penalty as well. Dougie's sort of losing touch with these guys, but Ushin, he gets a really bad runs wide there on exit, and Prix for some reason got DRS from a back marker, I believe. So Ushin will not like the look of that, seeing that Red Bull's flap open, so to say. So I think now if he'll just overtake him, Warlock and Chaz are going side by side. I believe that's Chaz getting the move done on Warlock, or defending, I don't really know. J. Cole as well, he wants to get involved in this battle. Dougie as well. Evo isn't too far behind as well. So we've got a really good dynamic here. We've got J. Cole down inside of Chazza, maybe, no. Chazza gets a really good run out the final corner, but doesn't get DRS. Warlock does, so that will defend him from Chazza, but J. Cole, them hards are doing the business here, and Ushin making mincemeat of Prix at last. And Chazza and J. Cole, there's no contact between the two. Again, who's got a better traction? I believe in the next few laps it will be the hard tyres that have the better traction, because their mediums will start to die off. And Dougie is right there as well. So J. Cole and Chazza going into battle. Chazza around the outside, slight lock up that could hinder J. Cole, but it doesn't. Still side by side. Dougie's looking to sneak in with J. Cole as well, and can't. And J. Cole, has he got the move done? It's hard to say, but Dougie's got such good speed. Chazza will have to defend this, and I think J. Cole should be okay to keep 9th, and he does. And that's J. Cole now up into 9th place. And Ushin can now look ahead to Casper and Kryptonite. He's within DRS of Rink. And there's Nick as well. So Kryptonite could be on for a good result as well. So we saw last week with Campbell, who's in 5th place, to be fair, after disconnecting and being held by his teammates. So, you know, Campbell's had a really good race here tonight. Definitely could have been on for P2 at least, as Oevo gets past Warlock. No, he doesn't. Warlock breaks way later, and I've seen quite a dirty race from the Force Ninjas, if I'm honest. As Oevo surely gets that move done. A slight contact, almost desync. He's got to be careful through turn 1. You do not want to get desync through turn 1, otherwise it's just, oh my god. Jesus. Warlock with a really good composed dive bomb there. Excuse me. So really try and get past again. I don't think he will, because Warlock has DRS as well. Up ahead, Dougie and Chazza still going at it after J. Cole's gotten past. I don't think J. Cole will get any more positions. I think 9th place might be the best he can do. If anyone ahead wants to DNF, that would be great. And Kryptonite now on the back of this race-long battle between Rink and Nick. I think Rink might get the move done now. Nick doesn't really defend the inside. It'll be late under braking from Rink. He can't get the move done. Kryptonite tries to go for a bit of a switchback, trying to get that traction, but just can't get it down. Rink trying to go down the inside. Nick defends it well. And now Rink will get the better exit. Nick's all on the curbs. So this will be a fascinating battle between these three. I don't think Kryptonite's got enough time to catch up to Dartbolt. But Rink, is he going to go down the inside? Yes, he does. Terrible camera angle. Terrible camera angle. Nick is still there. They're still side by side. And Kryptonite, I'm going to go on board with him just to see him licking his lips, because he could get both of these guys here. He's looking at Nick for the slipstream. Is he going to go around the outside? This is a good shot. This is what we want to see. Helicopter shots for days. And Kryptonite is up into third. Has he got the move done? He should get it on exit, on the soft tyres, on the traction, and he does. But Nick will definitely come back at him. But I don't think Nick will actually. So Kryptonite now can surely go after Rink now. As Chazza and Dougie. Oh, Dougie's pit. Excuse me. Reska joined back? No, I thought Reska joined back for a second there. So can Kryptonite make a move on Rink? Oh my god, the speed that he's catching at, it's disgusting. He goes right round the outside. Oh, there's slight there could have been slight contact there. I don't think Rink like that. He's going to try to go around the outside. Kryptonite brakes later. And now Nick will surely get a better exit than Rink and go for it into turn one. Behind we've got Chazza and J. Cole still going into battle. Chazza around the outside. Oh, he's got to be careful with desync there as well. That's desync territory for sure. Chazza brakes late. J. Cole round the outside. That is good racing between these two. This is that. If you want to race through sector 3, just look at J. Cole and Chazza. But look at behind them, we've got Oevo as well, closing in on them fresh soft tyres. And Campbell now joining this fight. So you know, Campbell's done very well here. He should be in second place, if I'm honest. But yeah, I think Ushin's done well as well. Very well indeed. If he can get past Casper, then you know, definite contender for trouble today. I haven't looked at the positions gained. Let's have a quick look, shall we, and see who deserves the driver of the day. And yeah, Ushin up 10 places. This man started 17th, and if he can get another place, then you know it should be all said and done. But Kryptonite has gained 9 places and finishing in second place. So I don't know. I think I might have to give it to Kryptonite at the moment. Obviously things can change. There are still 3 more laps left, and you know, you can still see a Dartbolt bottle, I believe, as Chazza and J. Cole are still going at it. Good racing, sort of false. J. Cole false wide there. Not much he could do there though. Chazza around outside this time. All this slight contact. I think Chazza's rears are just starting to give up on him. And J. Cole and 20 lap old hards, he will not be feeling any tyre issues just yet. Maybe in a lap or so, because then that front left does look quite dark on the outside. So again, you know, he's going to be careful as well. But compared to Chazza, his tyres look a lot worse than J. Cole's. And Oevo is here as well, and his tyres they're looking fantastic shape. His Dartbolt picks up a penalty. I don't think it's going to change anything too much. You know, I think Dartbolt would have to you know, bottle considerably from now until the finish. I don't see that happening though, because this man has done everything that he needed to do here today. Got pole and just pretty much, you know, went away from everyone from start to finish. So well done to Dartbolt. I know I sit there and have a joke with him about being a bottle, but today he's really proved himself, and he's proved what everyone said he should be doing, and that's winning races by a healthy margin. And as I say that, Nick and Rink are still battling for what is third place, and Campbell is going to try and get involved here. So let's stay on board with Campbell and see if he can maybe pick up a cheeky position or two. I'm not going to look at penalties. I'd rather wait until the end of the race. And yeah, I think Campbell being wise here. I think needs to have been battling quite hard recently. So again, I think he's just got to see if any of them make a mistake. As Chazza gets back past Jacob, but Jacob is not going to take that lightly. He's going to try and go for the move again. Chazza does his defending side. No, he doesn't. Chazza, Jacob down the inside. Evo taking a watch and brief. That's it. Go for a bit of a switchback. Go down inside of Jacob. Get the exit. And Chazza actually got DRS there, which is quite interesting. But Jacob was still moving alongside. Evo, I thought he was going to try and make it 3 wide there. Chazza again has to go down. Ooh, well, he could have made it 3 wide there, if I'm honest. So Evo definitely after his first points of the season. Ushin, no, he's catching Casper as well. So Chazza and Jay, I think Chazza knows to back out of that. There's Evo as well. I mean, Warlock's catching as well. So I mean, this race is far from over. As Campbell and I believe Nick and Rink got pretty close there. So again, Nick sort of losing touch with the guys in ahead. But nonetheless, it's been a good race so far. And Evo, last lap drama, he's off the track. Not last lap drama, penultimate lap drama, should I say. Wow. I think Evo just got a bit too impatient staying behind Jacob and Chazza. Luckily they haven't lost out quite. Oh my god, that's pretty wide. And yeah, I think that's deserved. As a Warlock is going to try now to put a nail in the coffin for these two. But Ushin, he's sort of, as I said, he's been a man on the charge at the minute. But Rink and Nick, they're going side by side again. Campbell again taking just a watch and brief in this battle. You've got to be careful because his teammate is involved in this battle, and Rink can actually do him a favour here. If Nick's got more time penalties than Campbell, then it'll be a Williams 3-4. But at the moment, that rear on that Williams does not look stable at all. As Campbell, he needs to get a good exit here. He needs a good exit to stay in touch. He's in sector 2. I believe that might be Jacob. It is Jacob, I believe Warlock or Chazza having a bit of a touch, and have to go back up to the battle between Nick and Rink. And Nick's got back passing Campbell. Surely now he's got all of his ERS saved up. This is surely Nick's Campbell's time now. He needs to pull it out there. He got up into hot lap. So are we going to see Nick put his teammate under pressure though? I want to see him through turn 1 though, because that rear does not look happy at all. And so far so good from him. As Dartbolt has started the last lap, and again it's been a good performance from him. Can't take nothing away from him this week. And Ushin getting past Casper. Yes he is, but Casper should have DRS here. But Casper gets a horrible exit, and that's just helped Ushin keep P6 potentially. But he's going to need to get away more than a second, otherwise you've got to feel it's Casper's 6th place to lose at this point. But he should get a good exit here compared to Casper when he does. So I think that might be position done for. As Campbell now, Warlock and Chazza are going at it again. I'm not surprised. And it's been a good defensive drive from Chazza today. And I think Chazza will be happy with that. So let's go see how far Ushin is ahead of Casper. I'm going to go back to Dartbolt though, because he's coming into the final couple of corners. So it's Dartbolt who will take the, I'm going to say lead of the championship, but it's Dartbolt who will take the win. It's what he's wanted. He wins here at Silverstone. Kryptonite with a fantastic 2nd place, in my opinion, driver today. Casper's gone for a move on Ushin. Ushin is going to go back down the inside. I'm so sorry I have to see this. And I believe Ushin, to be fair, has he got that move done? And he has. So Ushin, P6, P5 for Ushin. So a really good race for him. And yeah, so Kryptonite got 2nd, Nick got 3rd in the end, Rink 4th, Ushin 5th, Campbell 6th, Prix, I believe that's his first points of the season, don't hold me to that, but he's in 7th, Casper in 8th, Warlock 9th, Chazza getting the final point, and Evo missing out due to his spin the last couple laps. Scott will finish in 12th. J. Cole, disappointing 13th for him. Dougie, disappointing 14th, but he still remains the championship leader. So I think that's all that matters for him as he crosses the line, the last finisher of this race. Kryptonite has a plus. Oh, does he? Kryptonite has plus 10 second penalty. You know what? I really need to see who has penalties and who doesn't next week, because, you know, where does that put him now? So that'll, wait, 10. So that'll put him down. Oh, so Ushin will get 4th. Oh, well, driver of the day goes to Ushin then, in my opinion. Yeah, I didn't know he had a 10-second time penalty. So yeah, my driver of the day is Ushin. I said that so wrong, Ushin. So yeah, so Dartbolt with a fantastic win. Sort of comfortable throughout the race. No one really troubled him. I think Campbell could have done, but with him lagging out, just, you know, really put the nail in the coffin for Dartbolt. So he wins here in Silverstone, with Kryptonite in 2nd. But with that time penalty added on, I believe, from last week, he'll go down to 5th. So it'll be Nick and Rink on the podium, with Ushin in 4th, Kryptonite in 5th, Campbell 6th, Prix in 7th, Casper 8th, Warlock 9th, and Chazza getting the last point in 10th place. And just aside top 10, we have Evo in 11th, Scott 12th, Jacob 13th, and Dougie being the last finisher in 14th place. Wesker, Vitinho, Jos. We lost a whole bunch of guys at the start. So yeah, not the best race, especially that lap 1 incident, but nonetheless it was an exciting race in that midfield. And yeah, as I said earlier, there'll be no podium interview, so I know Dartbolt would have been looking forward to coming in the party and you know, proving me wrong, but unfortunately I've got to go now. So I'll see you guys next week. I don't know what race it is next week, so yeah, I'll see you guys next week, same time, 8 PM. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you then. Goodbye.